Are you ready to rock, randos?
Inside of you.
Literally, inside of you.
Been a while since we've done a music-inspired podcast.
It has, and it's May. It's gonna be May, and I'm excited, man. I like music. I know you like music. You know who else likes music? Our good friend.
I was going to say, is it me?
It's you.
I hope so.
Our good friend Eric Fallon is joining us on this podcast. I am Ed. That is Brian. You know us by now.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we're excited to have Eric on today. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, guys. Doing pretty good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm loving the
joined by his
very vibrant shirt
and his wooden guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if
he came in style today.
Yeah, if you want to see that, if you're just listening to this podcast, you're only getting like 50% of the treatment.
Right.
You need to hop on and watch these beautiful faces on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Go to fandomatrandom.com, click that watch button, like, subscribe. You guys know the deal.
Click the bell, bing.
But I have known Eric for, a long time. We met back in high school over our love of corn. That was correct, right?
It was corn.
Corn is pretty good.
Was it biology?
But it was freshman biology, but I was a sophomore.
Wait, are we talking the band or the
The band Corn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was wearing.
I thought the band at first, and then you guys started talking about biology. I'm like, wait, are they talking about actual corn?
No, I don't know anything about the genetics of corn.
Okay, all right.
No, I was wearing a Life is Peachy Corn basketball tee. And I think you had the same one.
Yep, and I was like, I'm going to see them tonight. And you were like, I saw them last night.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no.
And then I was
Did we just become best friends?
That's pretty much how it happened. I mean, that was the start of it.
Yeah, and then,
the rest is history.
From that point on, I mean, Eric and I, both musicians, we've been in a number of bands since our teenage years. Still in a band now, Basement Sessions, check it out. But... yeah, I'm excited to have you on because we are doing a very music-centric episode today with some bands that, while they may not be real IRL, they're real in our hearts in the movie world. Yes. So we're going to be talking about that pretty soon. But before we do, Brian was not here last week.
No.
We've got the news at random to cover. Brian, how did your little ER visit go? Are you on the mend?
I am on the mend. Yup. Steel plate in the belly now. I can't walk through airport security, but other than that, I'm good.
Beautiful.
And I started developing telekinesis, but that's a story for a different episode.
Dude, that's exciting.
No, I'm feeling all right. My insides are only barely melting now instead of fully melting. So,
and I finally kicked that, whatever the hell that cold was, man. It kicked the shit out of me.
It's climate change, dude. It's fucking us all up.
Could be. It could be. But let's get into some news at random. What do you say, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a news at random, featuring Eric Fallon. So, Eric, I mean, do you just want to cover the news for us here? I know you're a huge just fan of nerddom, fandom.
It's a jump right in type situation.
I'm sitting here realizing that I don't have a laptop to look at like you guys, and it reminds me.
I don't so awkward.
I mean, I'm probably the only person on the planet that doesn't own a laptop.
Oh yeah,
I don't really have any devices.
The only person under 60 that doesn't own a laptop, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's probably true. And no, I don't think you want my take on the news in your world here.
Well, you can do what you do in real life with us all the time. Just shit on the stuff we enjoy. You seem to get great joy out of that. So.
I do. I take tremendous joy in making fun of nerds.
But something I don't think you'll need help shitting on is, dude, the new Venom trailer dropped. So Venom 2 with Tom Hardy is coming out. And we got to saw Woody Harrelson as Carnage. Bunch of slapstick comedy, The Odd Couple, with Eddie Brock and Venom living in the apartment. And before I get into it, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I didn't hate it. Just like the first video, I thought it looked like it was going to be a fun ride without a lot of substance. So it's going to be something I want to watch and have fun watching. I don't think it's going to break any records or fucking go down in history as one of the best movies or anything.
I don't know, man. I think it looked terrible. I mean, the voice? What is with the... Oh, ketchup!
The voice did sound a little different compared to the first video.
It sounded a lot different.
And I'm thinking the cut on the scenes that they did was just a little weird. I'm hoping, at least. But I'll watch it.
Now, this is actually a trailer that I saw.
Oh.
And it did leave me with a question. I did see the first one, I think. I probably fell asleep. That's what I do watching these movies. But as I'm watching, Venom kind of like come out of his back.
Yeah.
Now, Eddie Brock seems like a lonely guy. Mm-hmm. Do you think he ever gets freaky with like the Venom?
I mean, that's a great question because
I feel like he's gotta.
Well, if he controlled Venom, I'd say yes. But Venom's one of those dudes who's like, no, Eddie, I'm not touching your dick.
But I mean, but he's like Tom Hardy. Like, you're not gonna touch Tom
And you're talking
Hardy's
Eddie Brock, not me, people.
That's
not
true.
me.
Yeah.
Leave me out of this.
But
I mean, we can add you. Right?
Lady Venom, on the other hand, when they bring in Lady Venom, now that's a whole different story.
I hope they bring in Gwenum.
Yes,
Gwen Stacy.
that would be pretty sweet.
That would be nice. So I don't know how I feel about it. We're gonna do a random review on it at one point anyway, so you'll hear me bitch about it a lot more. Another movie we got some news on. So Drax the Destroyer himself, Dave Bautista, is joining the cast on Knives Out 2 and potentially Knives Out 3. We mentioned a couple weeks or months ago at this point. I don't know. Time's been flying by.
Yeah.
But Netflix bought the option on the Knives Out property. Great film. I love the original.
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's
very
what
good
I hear.
movie.
And, I mean, Dave Bautista, I don't think he's a great actor. He's a little one-dimensional.
Yeah,
but
a one-role actor. Like, if you need a Stonewall as a placeholder, maybe. Yeah.
But it remains to be seen. We'll have to see what they do with him. But, I mean, it's cool to see him getting work. And he did come out in the last week or so saying that this next Guardians film is the next time he's going to be playing Drax. So whether he's sticking to that, whether he knows or he's privy to information that he's going to get killed off anyway.
Yeah.
He just said he's like, listen, I think he's like in his 50s now.
Damn.
Late 50s. And I mean, he's still in great shape, but he's like, he just said he physically can't do it much longer.
Right.
Which makes sense, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as wrestlers turned actors go, I don't know if you guys remember Hulk Hogan and Suburban Commando.
Dude, that movie was amazing.
yeah, I do.
But Dave Bautista is definitely a little bit of a better actor than Hogan was back in those days.
All right, fair.
I'm the Suburban Commando, brother.
I was a kid back then, so I didn't understand good and bad. I just remember Suburban Commando. What was that TV series with the boat? They had like the black long cigarette boat, and it was like a
I know what you're talking about,
procedural,
too.
do lightning something. Anyway, Hulk Hogan was good back then, and then you look back on it and you're like, fuck no.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a music-themed episode. Let's talk some music news. This was interesting. So the FBI, and they did this kind of quietly. They didn't super announce it, but they have released all of the original investigation and files on the Kurt Cobain suicide back at the age of 27. So Kurt Cobain, frontman of Nirvana, and it's relatively short. It's a 10-page file. I don't know if anything's been redacted, but they're claiming that it's out there. It's wide open, and you can hop into it. You can read all about it, and I'm sure when Cobain died, the conspiracy theories ran rampant.
Oh,
Courtney Love.
That Courtney Love was jealous. She didn't want to deal with his bullshit anymore. She either killed him and then all this stuff leaked out about how, like, the dosage of heroin that was in his bloodstream, there's no way he could have lifted a shotgun, never mind pull the trigger.
Yeah.
It went on and on and on, and the suicide note, they claimed it was fabricated. Ton of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit.
But I mean, the FBI, they have released it. All the information is now out in the open, so you can go and check it out. And it's interesting. I mean, it was such one of the more prominent musician deaths in the history of music, I would say.
Oh, definitely in our generation, too.
Besides Elvis dying on the shitter. Yeah.
But who doesn't want to go like that?
I mean,
that's way better than putting
true.
a shotgun in it.
Yeah, right? There's people out there who would love the FBI documents, so I'm sure it's a big thing,
We should check them out.
Yeah.
We should read them. We should actually do a Cobain-centric, like, true crime episode.
crime.
Delve into some of the theories. That'd be
It would
pretty
be
cool.
because I feel like it could go either way. Whether it was him, I mean, he really didn't want everything that came with fame.
Right.
I mean, he was kind of singing against a lot of that.
And we were just talking about crazy bitch exes, and
Oh,
Courtney
yeah.
Love is
Courtney Love
definitely
is-
like
yeah.
the definition crazy bitch, you know?
Yeah, she was the idol of many of my exes, actually.
Yeah. So there's definitely
It all makes sense.
I can't judge because I'm the same way, but I'd like to see, let's try and do an episode on that.
Let's talk some video game news for a little bit. So
Boring.
I knew this was coming. So Nintendo Everything actually came out and announced this. I was super excited. Immediately sent the info to Brian, but
Yep.
the classic Lucasfilm games, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol are being re-released. A little bit of a remaster. They're coming to Switch and every other console. Ghoul Patrol, whatever, it is what it is. It was.
I don't think I've even heard of that one.
It's not great. It was the sequel to Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but the original Zombies Ate My Neighbors is
That's even one I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And I mean, talk about an awesome soundtrack. Kicked ass, man. That.
It was like 50s niche.
Did you ever play that game, Brian?
I did. I don't think much like a lot of older games, I didn't finish it, but I did start it.
I mean, that's one that I'd love to. I played the shit out of that back in the day. If we could
Yeah.
ever co-op stream that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty badass.
Was that on Sega?
I think so.
Or was that
that was
PlayStation?
Nintendo. That was Super Nintendo.
I think it was both, but it
It
was
may have been
way
on
on
Sega,
Super
too.
I didn't
Nintendo,
have
yeah.
Super Nintendo, and I know my brother had the game, and
I
we used
think,
to play
yeah.
it all the
It was
time.
definitely Super Nintendo because I can vividly remember the cartridge.
Right,
With
yeah.
like, the image of the Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Kind of like Mortal Kombat in reverse. It was a Super Nintendo game that went to Sega instead of a Sega game that went to Nintendo. Yeah.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It is officially launched. It came out this past weekend. So if you're listening, watching, and you have not enjoyed the Mass Effect series, highly, highly recommend it.
Pending reviews, I may be doing that.
Yeah, this is back when BioWare was actually good. And, I mean, Mass Effect was really the swan song. I know a lot of people will shit on Mass Effect 3 and the ending.
That's
which-
why you looked at it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the game, period. So-
I heard they took out a lot of ass shots. So
Did they?
That's not good.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing.
It's pretty much like an alien, like, banging simulator.
Oh, I'm in. All right, I'm playing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's how much... It's
How
how much...
far have video games come since I last played them?
They have come a lot.
Not as much as Commander Shepard. I'll say that. So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
This is one you're excited about, Brian. So, the Saw films.
Well, I was excited when I put it on this document, and now reviews
are slamming
I
it.
mean, yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, well, it was all right. But then there's people who are like, fuck this, didn't need it, didn't want it. So now I'm kind of just, all right, I got to watch it. But
Yeah, so the new
Spiral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spiral. The new Saw film,
Technically-
Jigsaw's alive.
you could call it a spin-off because it's the book of Saw, meaning it doesn't involve Jigsaw, it doesn't involve anything from those movies besides the loose connections.
They blatantly named Jigsaw, like, in the trailer.
Right,
So.
yeah, and we
Oh,
all know
they're
that
saying a
he's
copycat?
Yeah,
Well,
we all
I know he's dead, but-
Jigsaw's dead, and he hasn't come back, so we know it's not Jigsaw, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and maybe I can get Ed to watch it. I doubt it, but possibly, you know, and then maybe review it.
Well, one I will definitely be watching when it comes back. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I already applied to
I
be on
heard
it.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm in application process.
Legends
Just kidding.
of
No,
the
I'm not.
Hidden Temple.
But there is application processes floating around online. We should try and
Yeah, but
sign
I
up.
feel you should. I mean, you seem like the kind of guy that could put that monkey together in time.
I do play
That
a
was
lot
the
with
killer,
my
man.
monkey, so I mean, yeah, no, I could definitely do it.
How often
yeah.
is yours in 3 pieces, though?
right? Those fucking scary dudes, though, I'd be out in a hot second.
Babe, I'm in the
Like,
shrine.
no, yeah.
I'm in the shrine of the Silver Monkey.
In the shrine.
But yeah, this is weird because
Stroking my purple iguana.
purple parrot, dude. Come
I
on.
mixed it up.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's the green iguana.
Green iguanas. Yep.
Yeah.
But they're bringing it back. They're trying to. It's going to be on the CW, so it's only a matter
Yeah.
of time before they
The
spike some.
CWs? That's a channel?
Next thing you know,
They're gonna put some drama.
Olmec and the host are gonna have some kind of teen drama, and they're
Sexual
gonna
tension.
be fucking each other in the background. And yeah.
Ooh.
When I heard it was coming back, I'm like, yes, and then heard CW. Ugh, fuck.
And it's not for adults, right? It's not for kids.
It's for adults. They claim they're trying to harken back to the original a lot, though. I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but if they want to do that, let's do adult Guts. Let me have a crack at the aggro crack, man. Like, that's what I want.
Hell yeah.
I've done some rock climbing in my day. I can do that.
And if you guys haven't checked it out, we did the Nickelodeon shows back in the day. On one of our
top
episodes.
10, we did our top 10 Nickelodeon game shows.
Yeah, check it out. Guts was, I think, number 1.
You have it. It was not.
Guts
was top 3. Legends of the Hidden Temple, I believe, came in at number 1.
I knew one of them was,
I think Guts was 3. I think Double Dare might have made 2. But those 3 were in the, and they should. I mean, those are
See, but what's funny is
the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3, and Mike O'Malley did Guts.
Yep.
Mark Summers did Double Dare.
Yeah.
What was the host?
Kirk Fogg.
Oh, he knows.
He knows because we did the episode.
No, I don't. Dude, I was obsessed with Kirk Fogg. That guy was the man.
He liked those little short cargo shorts.
I was going to say you would be with those short cargo shorts and everything.
Dude, I live my life for Kirk Fogg every day. Like, that guy is my idol.
I was a Mike O'Malley fan until he straight up fucking dissed me at the live Nickelodeon
I forgot about that.
Fuck that
Terrible
guy.
story. Terrible story.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I was in person.
He didn't actually diss me, but he was picking people out of the crowd for a contest. It was at like the Garden or something. And I looked directly at him, and he looked directly at me, and he's like, and went to the right and picked the guy next to me, and I was screaming. I was like, Mike! And the motherfucker just looked at me, looked to the right, was like, not that kid. I can remember it perfectly till this day. It hurt me that much.
Did you ever write him?
I should. Right now, I should write him.
Write him.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, you motherfucking asshole.
Seriously, because if Legends of the Hidden Temple, and speaking of which, they better get Kirk Fogg back on that bitch.
Yeah,
let him host it.
Kane and Walker and all.
He's probably not that old, but dude, if that's coming back, Guts could come back.
Yeah,
you would think
some payback.
Reach out to Mike O'Malley. Be dude, reach out now.
I want to be like Mike, yo.
Also, another kick in the nostalgia, Adult Swim nostalgia. So, Adult Swim, 3 series that they did are getting features. They're releasing movies.
Yeah,
there's a new Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, a new Metalocalypse movie, and a new Venture Brothers movie.
Right.
So
I've heard about all those.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So they're going to release them. I think it's going to be like a straight to Blu-ray DVD type of thing, and then it's going to go over to HBO Max, which you can stream them on. But I love all those.
Why would you bother putting anything straight to DVD nowadays?
I don't know.
I'm guessing it's like DVD, Blu-ray. I don't know. They want to get it out there for the physical content.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I guess. But, yeah, it seems weird, but streaming is something you want to do first and then maybe release, depending on how good it goes. But yeah, all right.
Hey, I'll always take more Aqua Teen Hunger Force, man.
Yes.
Yeah, some more meat wad.
Hell yeah, I'm a pretty white boy. All right. Let's talk some trading card news.
Yeah.
So not even just nerdy trading cards like Pokemon and Magic, but especially sports, which Brian loves.
Yay, sports.
So every Target in U.S. is no longer stocking tradable cards, whether it be sports, Pokemon, Magic. And I don't know if anybody out there watching or listening, if you're into any kind of tradable card game, but you've probably noticed if you walk in since the pandemic hit, if you walk into a Walmart, a Target, wherever, those things are blown the hell out.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that market has exploded.
Yeah.
Especially sports cards right now. They are through the goddamn roof.
Sports cards and Pokemon cards, they disappeared for a long time. And now I'm thinking about pulling out the old collection and seeing what I can get at this moment. Now that they banned the sales of them.
Yeah. Now is the time to sell them because they are through the roof. And yeah, Target, apparently there's just been a bunch of bullshit where there's a lot of people, mainly grown-ass men, that are going in there and they're actually, camping out around these sections, waiting for, the vendors to walk in and load the shelves.
This is why we say all men.
There have been, physical altercations, people in parking lots, like beating the shit,
It's
like
fucking
stabbing
pathetic,
people.
though, dude. Like, do you
No.
remember going to the card store when,
Oh, yeah.
when we were collecting Pokemon cards in elementary or middle school or even college? In your case, no, I'm just kidding.
I didn't collect Pokemon cards
I'm
at
just
any
kidding,
stage
brother.
of my life, Brian. But
Really, you didn't at all, even
baseball
when you were
cards-
younger?
No,
Oh, I thought
baseball
everyone
cards
did.
all the time. Any
Because I
sports
even
cards,
knew
really.
like the most unnerdiest jocks that even collected Pokemon
No.
cards, man.
No.
But no, dude, nobody ever fought over them. You know, there was no bullshit like that. Now those same kids grew up and are slapping little kids around. to
No,
get
and
them.
I've been working at this house, and I was just talking to the guy the other day about this, and his son is, preteen, plays baseball, huge into baseball.
Yep.
And they had apparently just released like a new series of cards, and he brought them to Target, and he was like, it was like 100 grown men.
Oh yeah,
Christ,
trying to push my son around to get 4 packs of these cards.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's insane to me
That is.
one, that baseball cards are even relevant at all
I know.
anymore.
Pokemon cards, at least I can see, but baseball cards, like
as someone who's not into Pokemon cards, I get that more than baseball cards. I mean, baseball is pretty much fallen off the radar for
Yeah.
everybody other than people that play it.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
The football cards are big bucks right now too. The Panini Prisms, which they're now gone. I think they pulled them, but I mean, we're talking like big bucks. Like you can hundreds, and depending on the card, I mean, and what happens to that player, people will pay thousands.
Gonna
It's
have
just-
to
it's
pull out
insane.
my old Beckett catalog.
Yeah, dude, I gotta check on my old cards, see what I can get for them.
Yeah. So pretty interesting. Last bit of news: Ellen DeGeneres is going off the air.
All right, now to our
no.
main episode. That's enough news about Ellen DeGeneres. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, it was bound to happen after that debacle she had. What, 2 years? A year?
I don't
ago?
even think it was 2 years.
I don't think it was actually.
It was
that
within the
long ago.
last year or so, and
Yeah.
they came out, and a bunch of people complained that had worked on there that it was
Like, surprise, surprise, she's an asshole.
Yeah.
like she's
You know?
a huge a-hole. They're like racially charged things and whole bunch of really dark shit that got thrown at that show. And she kind of came out and she's like, 19 seasons was always the plan to from the
Yeah.
beginning. And
Such a
yeah.
such a nice round number to end on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love lesbians, but if there's one thing I learned, they're mean. They're really mean.
I've met some nice lesbians.
No,
Absolutely.
of course, I know. But she never seemed nice to me.
No,
Ellen
it was
DeGeneres.
always just
Yeah.
fabricated.
Yes,
Like, you could
exactly.
tell.
Yep.
So, Ellen, we bid you farewell from fandom culture.
People that care bid you a farewell.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say.
All right. Well, that about covers the news. We're going to get into our fandom focus of the week, our music-related fandom focus. I'm excited. You guys are excited.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. And this week's fandom focus, our consensus top 10 fictional movie bands.
Ooh, yeah.
And as always, our opinions are going to weigh heavily on this with our choices, and that's why it's a consensus ranking. It's fun.
Yes, sir.
It's fun. It keeps it real. You may feel strongly about a particular fake movie band that I don't particularly feel strongly about, but consensus moves everything up, moves it in, so
It's what keeps the world turning.
absolutely. And we all made these lists per usual, unbeknownst to one another before we slammed them all together, came up with a consensus. So we will have honorable mentions at the end because it was impossible to get everybody in this list that we had. But I think we did a pretty good job. And let's kick it off with number 10 right away. And number 10, it is a three-way tie.
Yeah, three-way.
A three-way tie to kick things off, and it was actually the only tie in this top 10 list, and we wanted to include as much as we could, so hey, what better way than a three-way?
Yeah.
Hey.
So-
yeah.
So we have Infant Sorrow, the band from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
I had them at number 9. Eric, it wasn't in your top 10. Brian, you had them at number 8.
Yes.
Wild Stallions, Bill and Ted.
Excellent!
So I had them at number 6. Eric, not in your top 10. Brian, not in your top 10 because you were terrible people.
I know. I couldn't find a place for them.
Same. I had them, and then they just kept getting bumped out.
Bing, 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 bing.
And then lastly, Deathgasm from the movie Deathgasm. Not in my top 10, not in Brian's top 10. Eric had them all the way at number 6.
That slipped my mind, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, I almost had it at number 1 just because they killed demons with dildos.
That is, I mean, that is a good choice. I should have honestly thought of them. That's my fault.
I can't even remember much else about that movie.
Nope.
They kill demons with dildos.
They do.
Yeah, the dildo demon. Yeah. The dildo demon crew.
I've actually seen the movie more times than I wanted to because my eldest son is a huge black metal fan.
Yes.
And the first time I saw it, we were actually traveling by car to Chicago for a metal fest.
Oh, all right.
And he had it on his phone propped up on my dashboard.
Yep.
And when they start smacking the devil with a dick, I almost drove off the highway. I was like, what are we watching right now?
Dude,
like, what is this?
I've only seen it once, and I don't remember a lot of it, but that's one scene you can't forget.
Oh, no.
You're just like, what is fucking going on right now?
And the name is so good.
Yes.
Like,
Deathgasm.
come on.
Best band name ever.
So you already... I've never seen it. I will have to check it out. You've now sold me on Deathgasm. Let's talk about our other 2 contenders here at the top 10. So, Infant Sorrow, again, Russell Brand's fictional band from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and Get Him to the Greek.
Get Him to the Greek,
Get Him to the Greek.
And, I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, the songs are hilarious, especially, like, they built upon that character in Get Him to the Greek.
And they had the best fan
Aldous
base
Snow.
ever in Noah Hill, or whatever his name is.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Inside
I just
of
remember
you.
him in the movie, like... out in the crowd, no one else is making noise, and he's like,
I just went from 6 to midnight.
Just went from 6 to midnight. So yeah, there are many aspects of that band that I loved, and Aldous Snow is number 1, obviously.
And then obviously Wild Stallions. I mean, Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate band, dude. They've got Death on bass.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
we only get like one full song with Death on bass, though. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But we've got 3 movies of Wild Stallions content.
And I
They had
think
to make
that's
the top
why
10.
I left them off my list because I saw the third one.
It wasn't terrible.
I mean, it was a good way to get through a flight. But
Yeah.
I mean,
didn't
I
hate it,
wouldn't have watched it if I wasn't stuck in a tube in the sky.
Yep.
Oh man, that should be
goes
like your
on the
brand. Yeah,
on
like,
the movie cover. Not a bad movie for being stuck in a tube on the sky or whatever.
oh man. All right, so those 3 at number 10. Number 9, I literally the next 2 picks, by the way, I willed this into the top 10.
I was
going to
say, I'm convinced Ed just was like, nope, fuck number 9. This is going here.
And Brian at the number 8 pick, which we'll talk about after this, he totally willed his.
I
all the way up
willed
to
it
number
into
8.
my existence.
So number 9, Guy and Girl.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people like, who the hell is that from the movie Once?
Do they never name them?
Nope. They're called just Guy and Girl.
I just watched it. So the second time I watched it,
They never say their name.
I'm like, okay, I actually like this movie. The first time, I'm like, what does Ed put
really
me into?
It's really good.
And then the second time, something snapped, and I'm like, okay, this is a really good movie. But that's the first time I noticed they never actually name either of them.
And this is kind of a butt for me. Isn't Glenn Hansard a real artist, Eddie?
So he's a real...
And isn't the girl a real artist, Eddie?
They are, but this was before they were established, before they'd really done anything, and this is based on
Okay.
the fictional band that is in the movie.
I know I'm new here, but I feel like this is some... I run this.
There's some
this is
fuckery going on.
No,
All
they are 100% a fictional band in the movie. They were not a real band
I'll
in
give it
real
to you
life.
because it's not the real girl in the movie, right? It's the real guy from
No,
the
it's a
love
real
story.
girl too.
Really?
Yeah, Marketa Orglova.
I thought they show her at the end, like the real chick.
No,
So
it's
confused.
her, man. It's her. But in any case, the music is fantastic. I love
I agree with that.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I love the way they portray them in the film, the tragic, love story that, they want to be together, but they can't. And through that struggle, they make some of the most amazing, passionate music that is just, it kicks ass. And I love, it follows the band, they're so, they don't have money to do shit. and Eric and I can relate to this, like back when we were like young teens, Wonka Studios.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you pay the money to pretty much live in the studio for a weekend. And by the end, you were just exhausted.
I remember that was like 2 days before Christmas we did that. I go to Christmas dinner with my family, and I'm literally sleeping at the dining room table.
Sleeping in the ham, like...
And in once, it's the opening scene where he's playing on the street, right?
Yeah, he's busking.
And it is... His voice is just unreal. It is so good. Like, you feel that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just rings out across the road, you know?
So good.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to watch this tonight, honestly.
Yeah, the emotion with the music, hey, beautiful, man. It's a date.
It's a date.
But I love it. I had it at number 2.
And not my top 10, but I'm glad it made it on the list, I guess.
I said,
it's kind of bullshit.
Even with the fuckery.
Not bullshit, man. Come on. I had it at number 2, and again, not in your top 10s, but me having it at 2 was enough to at least eke it up to number 9.
Yep. This
was like
I'm proud of it, my friend. I have no shame.
Yeah, this was the one that I was like, what the fuck?
Might cause a clash at Demon Head.
Yeah,
though.
the clash at Demon Head at number 8 from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Brian, what about Crash and the Boys?
Musically, Clash at Demon Head was the far more technical and talented fucking band, and they had Todd, okay?
So this was not in my top 10. It was not in Eric's top 10. This was Brian's number 1 pick. So, dude, Brian, why is Clash at Demon Head your number 1 pick?
Okay, besides one other choice on this list, which we'll get to in a little bit, when you told me to pick top 10 fictional bands, the number 1 that came to my head was that song, Oh Yeah, from Scott. First of all, Scott Pilgrim's probably one of my top 10 movies ever.
Yep.
And second of all, that song is the first one to ring out from my head the second you told me fictional bands. So
I'll agree with you there because, Brie Larson does a fantastic job as Envy.
Number 3, Brie Larson.
And walking out in those big red pumps and just, oh yeah.
I was pumping something during that movie. Sorry, Paula.
But
oh wait, Paula's listening?
Oh yeah.
Oh, she always does. And I always get shit on for what I say.
Hi Paula. I love you so much. I miss you.
Yep.
Love you too, Mom. But she actually was just on the cast last week for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go listen to that one.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Did she bring iced tea?
She did not bring iced tea. It was not an emergency. But
so yeah, that's.
I know what you're saying. Like that scene when they walk in and it's a metric cover.
Yeah.
Of Black Sheep, and I so much prefer their version over the actual metric version.
Yep.
Like, I think Brie Larson kills it.
Yeah.
Like, doing it and, like, the energy, and you get that, when the verse comes in, which he's just saying, you crack, and just the bass slap.
It's just like, such a catchy awesome tune. It's really good music, and it sticks with you right away when you hear it.
See, it's crazy. As a bass player, you would think that I would know so much more about a movie whose main character is a bass player.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie once, and within the last year, maybe
I showed
2 years,
it to you.
Wow.
I had never seen it before.
No shit.
I did like the movie, but I have zero opinion on this.
I mean, and then it's a basis with vegan powers too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why I blocked it out.
Yeah,
they have a bass battle.
But Brandon Routh was fucking amazing as Todd, and Brie Larson was a smoke show.
Punch the highlights out of her hair.
Yeah, and the only movie who can make punching a girl funny. All
right, so now we're gonna get a little redundant, but to me, Brian, dude, this is the band. Like, if you're gonna talk Scott Pilgrim, we're moving on to number 7 here.
I mean, they had a song about a garbage truck.
It's Sex Bomb. Come on, man. Scott Pilgrim's band. We are Sex Bomb.
Yeah, but
dude, like, the first time I saw this film in theaters, and I had read some of the graphic novels beforehand, and I'm like, all right, what am I gonna walk into when I go check this film out? And it instantly, like, the movie's quirky. They've got all, like, the little weird video game shit going on, which is cool. And then they finally just have, we are Sex Bomb 1, 2, 3, 4. and it's just like pure like energy adrenaline, and they're just rocking the shit out in like the living room. And
There's
I'm like,
a reason why
awesome.
Clash of Demon had made it in the movie, and Sex Bombs were an up and never coming band because they weren't that talented.
Yeah, but I mean the song. Well, is Beck not
That
talented?
kind of hurts on a personal level, Brian. I've been in plenty of bands.
Beck wrote all of their songs.
I'm saying you guys are very talented, but Sex Bombs were just kind of noise, you know? And they were great. Don't get me wrong, they were great, but I can only remember.
Let me shut his mic off.
I can only remember one song from them, and that's "Let Me Take You for a Ride on My Garbage Truck." Truck. I couldn't put them as number one.
They've got
one of those bands was going number one, and it wasn't going to be Sex Bombs.
Well, I think they deserve to be on this list.
I'm glad they made it.
I think they deserve to be on the list for sure, even though it's not a movie that I'm particularly familiar with.
Yeah.
But they were good.
So I had them at 5. Brian had them at 5. So great minds think alike.
Yes.
And Eric not in the top 10, but that makes sense because he had some other great people in his top 10.
Absolutely.
Sure fucking did.
Not the least of which is our next one. And this is finally one that we all had in our top 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Lone Rangers.
How do you pluralize the Lone Ranger?
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yes.
Oh, dude, my first experience, I think, with like a fictional movie band. If I'm remembering correctly, it came out, what, 94?
I mean, it was probably the one that was right in like our wheelhouse of growing up.
Right.
I mean, it's probably the same for me. It was either this or Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
exactly.
got to be one or the other.
The trio alone of Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler, and Brendan Fraser
Good. So
was
good.
so
Brendan
goddamn
Fraser
good.
at his peak. Absolutely.
For sure.
Eric used to call me Pip sometimes because I used to be a pool boy.
And he was
just
always
like Adam Sandler.
He was always banging the women that where he was
Nice.
working.
Whoa.
Sorry, Paula.
Did you bring a beanie with you so you could like hold it over yourself when the husbands walked in?
But I just love the fact that this band, you know, they think it's a good idea to go and hijack a radio station.
It's passion, Eddie.
Yeah, it is.
Passion.
Hot sauce
that was
machine
the
guns.
goal in the 90s was to get your song on the radio.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
You didn't have podcasts and
No.
SoundCloud and YouTube back then.
What's
You had
the
to rob a
equivalent
station.
now? You have to go, hack into Ariana Grande's Instagram and be
Yeah.
like, follow my band on
Pretty much.
Bandcamp. Like, it's
gotta
not the
get
same. Like,
TikTok famous, I think, is the equivalent.
oh,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No, you pretty much have to stick a kazoo in your butthole and hop on OnlyFans. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Oh,
much the only
man,
chance
I'm-
you got.
I was
Yeah.
doing that years ago. Why'd no one tell me?
Well, you got to market better.
So,
I guess.
But I love that. Like, they have the passion for that, and the whole thing, like the entire film, they're trying to get the tape.
Oh, yeah.
So they can actually play themselves like
Chris
on the radio.
Farley.
Yeah.
going
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find the girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
man.
Oh
It's
yeah.
such a good movie.
And then they finally
really
perform in
is,
the end, like in the prison.
and
they become
Chaz,
huge.
I want your babies. Yeah.
And don't forget the hot sauce squirt guns.
Yeah, I was just going to say the hot sauce machine guns, dude.
And that Milo was a huge piece of shit.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Selling the stations.
Fucking Milo.
Easy listening bullshit.
So Eric, I have one question for you. Who would win in a fight? Lemmy or God?
It's a trick question, Eddie. Lemmy is God.
That is correct.
Rest in peace.
So I had them at number 10. Eric, you had them at 3. Brian at 7. So
Yeah.
all our top 10s, it made it. So now we're getting into the point where we're in our top 5 now. Most of these picks were all in our top 10.
The nitty gritty.
This is one that absolutely deserves to be. So Jackson Maine from A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
With obviously, the Lady Gaga character thrown in. But
I could do without her. Either way, I could take Jackson Maine without her.
yeah,
I mean, that
so-
opening song.
yeah,
It is. Yeah.
the West Side.
Yeah.
Boom.
Such a good riff. So much power behind
It just blew me the fuck away that Bradley Cooper had that in him. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
So it's actually funny if you I watched multiple interviews because I love the film, I love the soundtrack, and Bradley Cooper was saying like he did not like fake this, and like Lady Gaga said the same thing. Like he became a student of musicians. He wanted to know how everything worked. He wanted to know Like, he put the time into, like, you know, learning how to sing. He became a musician, and he actively was, like, going to shows. He wanted to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He wanted to get, like, into the nitty gritty.
I'm a musician, and I've barely done any of that.
Yeah, that's usually
comes through,
usually my wheelhouse.
dude. It comes through in the movie because the way they cut the movie, it's not like all that bullshit. They don't cut away. They don't put vocals over him. It's all raw and real.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And what I was leading up to with you guys mentioning that opening song and the energy, he said that originally, like, when they started, the character of Jackson Maine he was creating was much more like country.
Yeah.
Much more kind of bluegrass country. As the character evolved and he was learning more about, like, music, learning how to play guitar, this or that, he said he kept edging more and more and more into rock, and, like, he started looking more into grunge. He started looking into, like, just, like, heavy shit. And he said, like, honestly, like, and that's why like he mentioned Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam started becoming a big influence for him. And he said if they had started filming that movie even like 3 to 6 months later, he said it would have, like, the character of Jackson Maine would have been way more like rock.
Yeah.
Like, and that was kind of his thing. Like, he's like, all right, I want to kick them in the teeth with that first song that they show.
And they do.
And they do.
It is so
And then,
good.
you know, the rest of the stuff is a bit more, like, you know, a bit more country-esque, but it's still good.
Yeah.
And it's a tragic story, a tragic band, and like I say band, he's in the band, but the whole thing is it's him and
him.
Lady Gaga.
Right.
Yeah.
And the shit, the song, the soundtrack is just, you know,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I was fucking blown away. I heard of the movie and everyone's like talking about Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga. I'm like, some of this bullshit again.
But you know what enough people talked about was Andrew Dice Clay finally being in something.
Yes.
Right? Finally coming back into something that's actually good. You know?
Yeah. Gaga's dad.
Jack and Jill walked
That's
up
right.
the hill. Jill walked back down
My
with a
fucking
dollar.
daughter. You know, I just remember him
I only
breaking
remember
out in that character when he's drunk and pisses himself. He's like, "You did this to my fucking daughter." I'm like, "Yep, that's Andrew Dice Clay."
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But I love it. I think they did a great job.
So
Definitely
good.
deserved to be there.
Yep.
Number 4, Steel Dragon from Rockstar. And so I'll be truthful. This was not my top 10. It was definitely in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I know. How
think
do you not pick any Marky Mark? This was your one chance to pick Marky Mark, and you didn't do it.
Right.
So you had this at number 5, Eric. Brian, this was at number 2. And I always harken back. I love that scene when he goes to see them and he's in the crowd and he does that like the and like even without a mic, he's already like the singer can like hear him in the crowd.
Before I got up to about 17 years of smoking, this came out about 10 years ago, I used to be able to hit notes like that with the movie. I'd be like, "Rah!" And now I'm just like,
I'm not sure you know what year it is. I'm confident this is much older than 10 years old.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
That's
Probably
pushing like 20 years.
15 to 20, yeah.
Holy
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's got to be.
Wow.
But this
I
wasn't
didn't
in my
see it
top
when
10.
it first came out. I know
you guys
that.
talk about this one. Why does Steel Dragon deserve to be
I
here?
mean, dude, it's pure 80s, like 80s
Yeah.
hair bands, you know? And Marky Mark played it fucking amazing.
The thing that I loved about it is that it's like, that's kind of, you know, one of the dreams as a young musician where you idolize a band and you start a band because of them.
Definitely.
And then you have an opportunity
To be in the band.
And then to see the dynamic of what happens when you finally get in that band.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, do I live up to the original singer? How long can I deal with this? And a random small town kid going, dude, we all know the party days were fucking high and mighty in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
You wake up, there's a girl pissing standing up in your bathroom.
My
and you're like, whoa, what is
Lucky
happening?
if it's in your bathroom.
If it's in your bathroom.
You know, Motley Crue, I mean, pretty much elevated, you know, what the rock star lifestyle was.
Yeah.
And that's like when you talk about the rock star lifestyle.
Yep.
You know, Motley Crue was, which this was it, like the hair metal. This is
yeah.
what that band was, and yeah, it was great. I mean, it definitely deserves to be on the list. I'm glad you guys had it there to kind of pump it up there.
And
I
then,
mean, I
it-
feel for me it was more that the story of it than
Right.
the actual band. It was
back then being, I think I was like 14 when I first saw it. that was when I was into music all the time, all day, all night, and like you said, watching it and being like, oh, I wish that happened to me.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah. And it might be a little bit of bullshit because I'm fairly certain that although Steel Dragon was a fake band, all of the musicians in the movie were in 80s bands.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly which bands.
Right.
I want to say something like Wasp or Dawkins
or Styx
something like
or something
that,
like
but
that.
they were all 80s hair metal musicians.
And wasn't it based off like Judas Priest or something like that?
I believe
A
so.
loose
They had a
rumor?
fan that took over for Rob Halford for a little while. But I don't think it worked out because he wasn't as gay. I don't really know.
Yeah, which ends up happening in Rockstar. He's just not nearly as gay as he needs to be.
2001, by the way, so 20 years.
Oh,
Wow, holy shit. I did not realize that, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into number 3. You doing that thing you do. The Wonders.
The Oneaters.
I'm sorry, the Oneaters.
Oneaters.
I don't
It's
even
the
think I've
Wonders.
ever seen this.
Oh, get the fuck out.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't. It might be one of those movies where if I saw it, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay,
All
I've
right.
seen this. But based
Yeah,
off this
you
and the
have.
name, I
Now
don't
it
know.
makes perfect sense because I had this at 3, Eric at 2. It was not in your top 10.
No.
Tom Hanks is the manager.
Nope,
He also
never seen it.
wrote. He also wrote and directed the entire film.
I would
This is kind of his,
absolutely-
like,
Oh, so
Remember.
it's his fault.
Yep,
It's his fault that they don't give Ethan Embry's bass player character a name.
I love that too. The bass player has no name.
I don't love that, Eddie.
Go to
That's
Wikipedia.
offensive.
I mean, it's bass players,
IMDb.
man. No, I'm
He's
just
TB
kidding.
player, the bass player.
you guys didn't just
okay.
introduce me as this guy. Like,
I have never
gave me a name.
seen it because I would remember Tom Hanks as a band manager, and I know I've
But
never
this
seen that
was a
before.
classic, like
so
just hearkening back to again, like the Beatles, kind of mirroring that with a band that's in America trying to come up, get on the radio,
Right.
and
Ride
through-
the tails of that British wave that was coming over.
Exactly. And they do that. The songs are amazing. That thing you do, or it is maybe one of the catchiest songs for a movie ever written.
I would go with that. We'll go with
I'm
that.
gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
I am Spartacus.
I am Spartacus.
And Liv Tyler.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anything
Not
with Liv
ringing any
Tyler,
bells?
No. Anything with Liv Tyler, I'm up for, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, you should. You should. It's fantastic. The story. I mean,
surprised
it's
I
really
haven't
the
seen it.
rise and fall of a band.
Yeah.
The one-hit wonders. That's what it's based on.
Yeah. I mean, when they first hear their song on the radio,
Oh, yeah.
it's so fantastic.
Running
Like,
and screaming down the road.
Yep.
the father owns an appliance shop, so they run in and they're turning on all his radios.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I have not seen it. I know
So
for a
good.
fact.
Yeah. Number 3, The Wonders. Number 2, Stillwater from
I am a
Almost-
golden god.
Talk about the story of Rockstar. A kid being chosen to replace the singer of a band and living that dream. Next best dream, dude, is going on tour with
Yeah.
your favorite fucking
Oh, yeah.
band.
Now this is
based on a true story.
I can't
Yeah.
think of
Based
his
on a
name
true
from
story.
Rolling Stone. I'm totally blanking on.
I'll look it up.
I
And
want
keep
to say his
talking
name's
about
like Nolan or some shit, but
I know it too. And
yeah, that's a tough one. The kid who played the part in the movie was perfect, though.
oh yeah,
And then Kate Hudson was just as Penny Lane was perfect. The music choice was perfect. The guy who played Russell was perfect. It is by far, again, one of my top 10 movies, and I had it at number 3 just because I had 2 more that I thought were a little better, but the soundtrack, the band, the actors, everything came together in this movie.
the whole and again, like it follows the whole story, the rise and fall of this band, and like
based from the journalist point of view, you know.
Yeah.
And what scene? You'd be hard pressed to find a scene better than when Russell's coming down off acid. They're all sitting in the bus, pissed at each other, and there's just this bad mood hanging over them.
Yep.
And then Tiny Dancer starts playing from Elton John,
Yeah.
and everyone just starts singing along, and it's just Holy shit, man! That scene still gives me goosebumps.
Cameron Crowe.
Cameron
Yes.
Crowe. That's the guy.
Right.
And again, I had this at number 7. Eric, you had it at 4. Brian at 3. So we were all pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And it is great film, and definitely catchy songs, and it's more about like the journey.
Yeah.
With this
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Of the band and just seeing everything and
Yeah,
craziness.
It was a behind the scenes movie and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was like watching like behind the music, which they need to bring back.
They do.
I need to
I
hear
love
more
behind the music.
shit about musicians.
Yeah, right.
I just need to. I love it.
Number 1. Number 1. And how could this not be?
Hold on, can you just turn it up to 11?
Yeah, turn it up to 11, Eddie.
Let me turn this up to 11.
I can't hear the sustain, Eddie.
Yeah.
But why didn't they make 10 the loudest?
Because
It goes
it
to
goes
11.
to 11.
Spinal Tap from This Is Spinal Tap. This was my number 1 pick. This was Eric's number 1 pick. This was
Yeah.
Brian's number 6 pick.
All right, in my defense, I didn't see this movie till I was like 20 years old. All right, so it's
not really an excuse.
Didn't strike a chord with me nostalgia-wise as much as other people, and I had seen other shit before it, but I still love Spinal Tap.
I mean, I was probably 17, 18, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
not
know,
as
it just-
nostalgic. I definitely didn't see it when I was a
it was
kid.
like right after I got out of my hair metal type phase that I was going through, and I was like, well, this is an awesome movie. And the band is awesome, but just something about when I watched it, how I watched
Yeah,
it, you know?
I mean, I love that it just hits on every stereotype.
Yeah,
everything.
every single one. And it's one of the only movies or bands or whatever that has a song with 3 basses. And that...
Big Bottom.
Right?
Big bottom.
Big
Give
bottom.
me a big bass boner, really. I
Talk about bum cakes. My girls got them.
yeah,
girls
yeah,
got
oh yeah. It's just everything about it, from the little globule drummer, like
I mean,
The drummers keep dying.
and on top of that, the music was actually good.
It was
They did it
fantastic.
all,
Yeah.
and the music was good to top it all off. You know,
and I love how it goes from like that 60s like hippie pop, and it just goes with the times,
Yeah.
kind of. So it's not just they're this one band that's washed up. Well, they were washed up. I mean, they were playing what, like
Not in Japan.
little
They were
kids
top 10 in
amusement parks
Japan,
or
dude.
something.
yeah, right.
And it's just it's fantastic from start to finish.
Yeah, the songs are just amazing. The quotability, is that even a word? Quotability of the movie.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
quotability.
You just go back. I mean, the song's called "Lick My Love Pump."
Yeah. Oh man.
It goes. We're gonna do Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
The little thing comes down.
It really is a great movie. I owe it a rewatch.
There was a dwarf
I really,
towering over.
I gotta show it the respect it deserves and rewatch it again.
It's amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
and like when the bass player gets stuck in the little
Oh,
pod
yeah.
and it won't open, and he's like trying to play, and then the song ends, and they go back in, and his finally opens.
Yep.
Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah.
They're walking around for God knows how long
Yep.
They can't
underneath the arena.
You know, it was definitely just a love letter. Even though it was a mockumentary, you could tell like the people that wrote that film,
Yeah.
like they understood touring bands.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like all of these, like you mentioned, so many stereotypes. Like I felt so awful too. Like when they go to like their album release, and they're sitting there and
Called Smell the Glove.
yeah. Oh, Fran Drescher's in this too.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And actually, Paul Schaefer, is that his name? He was
Yes. Yep.
David Letterman's band leader.
Oh,
Is
right.
Artie Flufkin?
No shit.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I think so. It's so good.
Oh,
It deserves to be at number
Definitely
one.
have to watch
It does.
then. Yeah.
It does. And I feel like that in itself is almost a stereotype.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what
It
else
is.
could you put there?
All right, so quick recap of our top 10 before I get into the honorable mentions. So number 10, again, that three-way tie. Infant Sorrow, Wild Stallions, and Deathgasm. Pretty good way to kick things off there.
Yeah.
Number 9 was Guy and Girl from Once. Number 8, The Clash at Demon Head.
Hello.
Number 7, We Are Sex Ba-Bomb. Number 6, The Lone Rangers. Number 5, Jackson, Maine. Number 4, Steel Dragon. Number 3, The Oneaters, or The Wonders, whatever you want to call them. Number 2, Stillwater. And number 1, Spinal Tap. So let's get into some honorable mentions here because we got quite a few. Yep. If you guys want to chime in, if you want to say anything when I'm mentioning these. So School of Rock was one I really wanted to get in here with Jack Black.
Same.
It was damn close.
Yeah.
It was so damn close. That the three-way tie at the end kind of sealed the deal of bumping it out, but he did a great job in that film. And I think like if you're listening and you haven't seen it and you have young kids that you want to maybe garner an interest in playing music, and especially like Eric can relate to being a father, being a musician, like it does such a great job of like showing the love of music and playing music to young kids and like him believing in them and they form a kick-ass band in the end.
Although the way he goes about it is highly illegal.
Oh yeah. I mean, extremely.
Yeah, and nowadays would definitely be frowned upon.
Oh yeah,
heavily.
It wouldn't
heavily.
fly. It would
But
not
yeah,
fly.
Jack Black killed it. Dewey Cox
Which
from Walk Hard.
follows the same trope as Spinal Tap. It kind of changes with the
Johnny
eras
Cash,
of
Walk the
music,
Line.
but like how he goes from like he has like the hippie pop stuff and kind of changes with it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Crucial Taunt, man. Wayne's World, another band that I really wanted to get into the top 10, but
I debated it, and I'm like, you know what? There's just too many good ones. I love
Cassandra, man.
I love Wayne's World.
Hot chick playing bass. I mean, it was almost a no-brainer for me.
It's just Wayne's World was probably my most quoted movie in middle school. You know
she only had 3 weeks to learn.
3
how to
ways?
actually
Holy
she had 3
shit,
legs.
She has 3 ways too. Get me in there.
Everyone does. But yeah, she still killed it. Dude, Josie and the Pussycats.
Wait, she only had 3 weeks. What, Eddie?
Oh, to learn how to play bass. Yeah, I completely
That's
skipped
20
over that.
days too many, Eddie. Like, I learned how to play bass in like, I mean, it only takes a minute.
There's only 4 strings.
Actually, yeah, true story. Like that's why
only
you
takes a
decided.
minute. Like,
Hey,
I mean,
man, but
to
I don't
learn it,
I don't wanna
to be
shit on
good at it
bassists.
takes
Yeah,
years.
but
to learn it, I mean, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Josie and the Pussycats. Dude, I actually
Rachel Lee
own
Cook,
that
man.
CD.
I don't even know.
I loved it.
I know the movie from the cover.
Yeah.
It's Jessica Alba, right?
No, it's Rachel Lee
Cook.
Rachel Lee
my
Cook.
God.
Tara Reid,
What would
Rachel
I
Lee
know?
Cook, and Rosario Dawson when
Yes.
she wasn't actually that attractive.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I know nothing about that.
I had the CD. People made fun of me all day for listening to that, and I stood up for it every day. I'm like, fuck you guys, this is girl rock.
Wait, which one was the bass player?
Rosario.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, so just because she wasn't attractive back then, she had to be the bass player?
Dude,
That's
they made her like your stereotypical bass player back then. Bass players are cool now.
Oh, he's throwing around bass stereotypes.
Anybody who wants to shit on bass players, tell them to listen to Maxwell Murder by Rancid. Am I right?
I mean,
I don't know
it's
shit
pretty
about
good.
bass. I'd barely
No, that's
ever
a good
play-
one.
play
Now, I would
bass,
tell him to
you
go
know.
listen to Victor Wooten's show of hands.
or classical thumb.
Classical thumb. Yeah. It's on a show of hands, though, correct?
Even his rendition of Amazing Grace,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
be like, what am I listening to? It's just unreal.
All right.
The Weird Sisters from Harry Potter. Figurin' Dan and the Modal Nodes from Star Wars. That's another one.
What is that?
Dude, I didn't even know.
I don't even want to
I
know.
love Star Wars.
Are they the ones
They're the
that play
Cantina Band.
Oh, okay. I knew they were. Yeah.
That song gives me nightmares.
I used to. Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured it was them, but I never knew they had a name.
I wanted to put him in my top 10, but
What's
they've
the name
only
again?
got the Figurin' Dan and the Modal Nodes. They've only got that one song, though. So, like, they finished, and it's like, play that one song again. Okay.
Do you think somebody on Star Wars was like, so I was fingering this guy named Dan, and
Fingering Dan
and George Lucas was like, we need to name our band Fingering Dan.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Figurin' Dan.
Yeah, I feel like the opening band for them would be Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yeah, and then Freddie got fingered.
The Blues Brothers, which is another one that I really tried to get in the top 10.
I almost put them there too.
I thought I had them, and they just kept getting pushed off.
I thought
Yeah.
I had
think
them
it's
at one
just
point
something
too.
I
yeah.
never really got into. But I mean, they're up there for, you know, they were like the first fake band, weren't
Yeah.
they? It was either them
Yeah.
or the Monkees, but
movies.
One of the two. Yeah.
We got Rex Manning from Empire Records.
Oh,
it's
man.
Rex Manning Day.
Rex Manning Day. Another one with Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see
And
Empire
she was
Records,
very
yes.
upset that he just tried to have his way with her. I mean, I don't blame her. He was kind of a creepy dude,
He was wicked creepy.
Right.
but he knew how to market himself, man.
Yeah.
He really did. I'm trying to think of that video that he had where he had like that Miami Vice vibe going.
Yeah. You know who didn't know how to market themselves? Love Burger.
No.
Can't hardly wait.
They did.
They had
they-
T-shirts and everything.
But they were wearing their own t-shirt.
But they were just unfortunately wearing their own merch, and you just don't do that.
They are my favorite band who I've never heard play a song.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love them. I love Donald Faison. Is that Faison?
Yes.
Is that how
I
you
love
pronounce
how
it?
weren't they all cast members in Clueless, or was it just two of them? Because you had
At least the two. 'Cause
Yeah.
the drummer.
and then the skateboarder,
Yep.
the skateboarder from Clueless, and then Mo or whatever his name was in Clueless. I don't want to say his name, but
I just love that movie.
I
Yeah.
do.
And
the
just
soundtrack's amazing.
the scenes with them are awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, just it's so reminiscent of being in a high school band.
Right. Yeah.
And just like even when you're about to play the biggest party of the year, no one can get on the same page.
No.
And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck you. And then
just-
it's like, I love you, man.
brings me back to the gazebo days.
And then
in North
some
Reading
nerd
playing
steals the mic from
fucking-
you and starts singing Paradise City or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
We've also got the Ain't Rights from Green Room.
Now you want to listen to punk rock from a movie? Fucking
Nazi
The
punks
Green
fuck
Room.
off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nazi punks fuck off, dude. That movie was so. I just rewatched it the other day because I put it on
yeah.
this list.
I was thinking about
Still
watching it
a
because I
badass
saw it
movie,
when I
dude.
was, researching some of the bands, and I saw the movie not that long
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And as like, it's a little fucked up.
It's fucked up.
But, I mean, good on them showing up, and fucking playing that song.
playing
Like, that
in a
takes
club
balls.
like that. Playing that song, I was like, all right, okay, you guys are screwed, but okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But I mean, when you're a band, it's like, do you fold out and
Yeah.
play what they want, or
Right. Normally, you're not
Stick
going to
to-
get hacked up by a machete afterwards. So
Normally.
yeah.
No, I haven't had many gigs like that.
No.
Although I feel like I've played where I wouldn't have blamed somebody.
Yeah.
If they fucked me up after.
Well, gentlemen, it's about that time.
Yes, sir.
Eric, thank you very much for coming on, man. You did a great job.
Thank you guys for having me.
Round of applause for you.
We'll be back Friday night.
Well, Randos, we will be back again. We'll get Eric back on again. We'll do another music-related podcast, perhaps.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I had a great time, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for watching and listening. Later.